Всем привет. Ну что ж, продолжим проходить вампир. Так. Да, мы здесь остановились, поэтому погнали. Продолжить. Так, вот. Ага. Так, нам надо поговорить с покровительницей больницы. Ну что, погнали. Богатая женщина.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Что-то я сомневаюсь в этом.
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night. Before vanishing into thin air.
Ни хрена себе.
I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Интересно.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Допустим.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Интересно.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most
один раз и
recent
будут все
demands.
время требовать.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Блин, это что ж такое-то? Так.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Okay.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Совпадение.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay. Ну, понятно, она вампир. Ну, давай.
These nurses, bred with no respect.
Так, ничего нельзя забрать-то. Чего?
What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts that poor sod's veil.
Криворуких.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes. Just waiting for me to pop off, they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, Paws all
Нормально. Поносит.
I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Пум-пум-пум-пум-пум. Давай, стой сначала.
We're safe. Don't worry, we're safe.
Так,
Relax.
а как пройти?
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Rid from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served...
This is a dangerous...
we were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war.
Where was your...
He went down by the canal.
I have all...
Thank you, Doctor.
Так, это ладно, а как туда-то попасть? Так, я смогу это дело оббежать все? Я же прыгать-то не могу. Ой-ой-ой. Привет.
I'd step back, sir. Are you deaf?
Интересно.
Relax.
Хм.
Don't worry, we're safe.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Интересно.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Ё-моё, кот сожрали.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Мало ли пригодится. Непонятно, какая-то щит работает. Что пропустить сюда? Выбить, нажмите на карты, отобразится область, которую нужно исследовать. Не понял юмора, если честно.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay. I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Окей. Не, нам туда.
This is despicable.
Ни хрена себе. Ё-моё.
What sort of creature is this?
Это оборотень, что ли? Ух ты ж, блин. Ух ты, ё-моё. Давай, тащим. Блин, охренеть. Ай-яй-яй! Ай-яй-яй! Давай. А хрен от тебе. Щит, ёпта. Вот это плохо. Назад. Ай-яй-яй. Че он такой жесткий-то? Ни магии не поймать его никак. Назад, назад! А, вообще пофиг, у меня кровь это. Да, вообще бесполезняк. Надо несколько магии иметь. Ай-яй-яй. Выносливость, выносливость. Ну, дурак, бей!
Here's what's left of him. Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Да. Жестко.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
Придется крыс поесть. Да. По факту, по нему, вроде бы огнестрел неплохо шел бы. Мы же не ищем легких путей. 5 опыта всего, серьезно.
Turn around, sir. I'm talking to you, you twat.
Ну зашибись, а как мне попасть туда? Без кровопролития. Ух ты, ни хрена себе. Что, один ты так думаешь, можешь? Да чё за та... Умри.
This is an impressive knife. There's a name engraved on the metal. Clay. What kind of man puts his name on a knife?
В смысле, расследование провалено. Окей. Не могу. А нафига я сюда приперся? Что здесь есть такого? А, опять вы. Все, я понял где. Нам на ту сторону надо как-то. Блин, а как добраться-то? Ну, по факту надо наверх. Ух ты ж, блин, ни хрена себе. Нафиг. Да, ёкарный баба, тут эти стоят.
This is no place for you, sir.
А, может через больницу там? Я тут стою, туплю. Ну да. Так, давайте буквально 5 минут, я сейчас подойду. где-то сюда зайти. Ну, ладно, видимо, нету. Так, побежали дальше. Ух ты ж, блин. Давай попробуем. Он лучше. Я понял. Скорость атаки, выносливость 20. Да, и все, да, на этом. Ну, смысла по факту нету. Блин, а там эти, да? Там придурки. Причем много. Нафиг. Опять вас тут. Я вроде как на человека похож. А мы человек типа. Ходим, гуляем ночью. Десятый уровень. Блин, жестко. Ну, пупенчик, а нам туда надо, да? А тот чем, с ружьем? Ай! Нельзя так. А тебя я сожру. Охренеть ты больно лупишь-то. Ни хрена. У тебя радиус атаки. Повезло, что мне что-то медленный дурак. Ну, сами не дали пройти, виноваты.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Петреску, да, найти надо. Замечательно. Надо кого-то найти. Бу-бу-бу-бу-бум. Так, это тоже какое-то здание, да? Ну, сюда, кстати говоря, надо еще. Ну, да ладно. А, это он, да? Ёпта. А, нет, мы же громил, да, нашли. Взял, застрелил чувака.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Вот ты ж, блин, а. Падла. Ну и хрен с тобой.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Переутомление. Ой, еще лекарства делайте, этому, тому помочь. Можешь их нахрен всех сожрать и не париться. Неизвестно сколько опыта. А ты сколько опыта даешь? Это вообще ни хрена.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reid, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben.
Ben бродяга.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up.
Yeah.
Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Фига.
Goodbye, young man.
Me, I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
А этот куда придурка свалил? Ладно.
By many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Rid, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Rid.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
I'd like to see...
Окей. Мигрень.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. It's locked.
Не ошибись, а как попасть-то? Туда не знаю, ну куда. Ну, вот так пройти, либо там пройти. Других-то вариантов-то и нету.
Nobody at home.
Блин, ты будешь так открывать.
I will return later.
Дурак. Ва! Да ничего нельзя сделать. А как?
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Goodbye, Miss Swanman.
Ну это ерунда какая-то.
It's locked, all right.
Зашибись. Что я хочу сказать-то? Ну и как попасть-то, а? Жестяк. Ну это реально, и как попасть-то туда? Там всего лишь 2 пути, блин, оба закрыты.
There's nobody here.
Ну и что за фигня-то? Блядь, ну и чем мне это поможет тут? Опять же, дорога вообще хрен знает куда. Ну там 2 пути-то всего. Блядь, оба закрыты. Раз путь закрыт.
It's locked.
И 2 закрыт. Ну и каким макаром я должен попасть туда? Кто вот меня объяснит? Ну это бред какой-то. Бронхит, да, средство бронхита надо. Это от мигрени, переутомления. Мигрень, переутомление. Другого у меня нету. Пойдем, найдем его. Пойдем, дадим лекарство.
End up another drunk old.
How are you, boy?
I'm not.
Не понял, тебе что надо?
Goodbye.
I won't end up another drunk old littering the streets. Not me.
А как лекарство дать? Я же сделал лекарство, правильно? Не понял. Переутомление. Ну, переутомление.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right?
Do you
Never.
Good.
Me? I'll not die in some piss stinking alley drinking worse than a week old lavvy.
Good evening, Ben.
I'm afraid.
A gun out.
Странно. Ну и да ладно. Странно, конечно. Конечно, улучшил ради интереса. Давай поспим. Прокачаем маленько персонажа. Так. Это тень. Это кровавый. Это атака физическая. Свертывание. Пикирование. Так, интересно. Фу. 20 единиц урона теневого, да? Па-па-пам-па-пам. Во-первых, надо хотя бы теневое, хотя бы кровавое. Копье тоже нам надо. $400. Да, вот это возьмем тоже, хоть какой-то отхил. Все, 10 уровень. Ярость, бездна. Прикольно, 1000 надо, да? Ладно, прыжки либо так. Ну-ка, стой. Копье. Тень, кровь, прыжок. Давай ради интереса. Теневого урона тоже, да?
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett...
Have you heard of a...
Nurse Crane? Is that a bitch
Yes, she's a nurse. And quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business?
Business? I have no business. Between...
I see.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time...
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has...
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violent?
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the...
Where did this happen?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there.
Goodbye.
Так. Ну ты кем будешь? Церковь.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions.
Another journalist? I didn't...
I'm not a journalist.
A doctor, you say?
Really? But still, here I am.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what...
I do whatever I want, and sometimes...
According to you...
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense...
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your...
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Интересно.
Goodbye. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Rid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought.
Ученый и все, и типа хана должен прийти.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Религия опять.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Понятно.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. Have you any friends?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart.
Понятно.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear.
Да.
I have...
Весело.
Fancy buying something?
You never... Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer. Good running.
Еще и боксер, нифига себе.
After his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of...
And no one...
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched.
No one's there.
Да зараза, а? Я не понимаю, как туда пройти, честно.
Good evening, Ben. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reid.
Да тоже нифига. Да, мне интересно, а как этому мелкому-то дать лекарство-то?
How are you?
I'm not your boy, all right?
Ну ладно.
Goodbye, young man.
И хрен-то с тобою. Так. Так. Это интересно, конечно. Так, давай, когда мы сделаем следующее. Давай вот его. Это нам куда? Охренеть не стать. Проблема в том, что меня туда, скорее всего... хотя, может, и пропустят. Ну, давай попробуем на кладбище сходить. Давай посмотрим, что у нас тут.
Best turn around if I were you. Watch yourself! There's one of them! Watch it! It's a killer!
Это. Заторы следили за этой бешеной. Все, я понял. Понятно. Так, там где-то мост должен быть, да? Вот он мост, и нам на кладбище. Пойдем пробовать. Ни хрена себе.
Eat this!
Ох ты ж, ой-ой-ой, что это? Охренеть, ставь. Охренеть, там ребятки сильные.
Doesn't like fire, does it? He's dead! Die, vermin! You're mine, vermin! Shit!
Давай, пополняю запасы. Эти копьем. Пойдем сюда. Охренеть их тут.
Step away, sir.
Ай-яй-яй. Ой-ой-ой. Ай-яй-яй.
You're mine!
Я же вернулся. Мрази. Падла. А, вот так вот можно было, да? Да охренели! Да куда ты целишься, дурак?
Там что, вампиры говорят?
Да. Такие ребята жестковатые. Так, нам как-то туда, да? Как нам туда? Наверное, дверь. Нет, не дверь. Ошибись, и что делать? Наверное, сюда. Нет, не сюда. Опыт ни о чем. Мало. Стюпинг. Нет, не оно. Нет, оно.
Die, vermin!
Пятнадцать, 10. Так. Так, которым это тварь, что маскируется, она ведет себя психически больную. Ну они придурки, я понял. Поверили. Блин. В больничку вернуться надо, да? Что, все там наигрались?
А, что-то я сластику алло, не алло. Отошел или вообще ушел?
Что там, повыживал или умер?
Подох. Не идет сегодня так.
Че, слик, все, тю-тю?
Да? Не, его, по-моему, Юрий забрал.
Броню-то можно выложить, ну, вынести.
Да ну его. Там такая тупая ситуация. Короче.
Опять друг друга поубивали?
Не, я просто подумал, что это сластик бежит. С другой стороны, надо было стрелять. Пофиг. Ну, как бы. Было такое. Короче, ощущение, ну, я знал, что типа это враг, но, блядь, что-то переклинило, я думаю, сластик что-то, блядь, одной пулькой в него стрельнуло, а потом думаю, блядь, сейчас убью опять сластик. Короче, затупил его. Потом пошли просто в контейнер, походил, и бот меня в дырку позвал. Тупая вообще.
I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
No. You are deluded. You think you crave blood, but you have no physical need for it. You have no idea what that is like.
But what am I feeling? It cannot only be in my head. I know my flesh is rotting. I feel it. It disgusts me.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you.
But until then, I will not.
Thank you.
I will not. 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 I will not.
I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Еще ебабло, бабу. Это жалко. Оно что нашел, но провалилось, да, вот это. В порт надо, да?
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination. No one can do.
Заебал ты свою устойчивостью. Ну зашибись. Падла, задрал, честно слово. Еле успел. Да.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Да.
Hello again, Mr. Thatcher.
Yes, this neighborhood may stink of dog.
Mr. Thatcher.
No. Since I came back from the war, I spent most of my time and energy just trying to forget.
I understand what you mean. I was a soldier too.
No. Nobody can truly understand what I've gone through.
Why were you locked in that sewer? What happened?
I went by the canal after an argument with a friend. Got chased by these fucking wankers and had to barricade myself in, despite my claustrophobia.
Why did you run?
Newton wanted me to go to a hospital, but I can't stand being closed in. Makes me feel like I'm suffocating.
Tell me about your claustrophobia. Has anyone given you an official diagnosis?
That's what the bloody doctor said. But I don't want to go to a hospital to get checked again. I'll deal with it my own way.
Oswald, why did you not go to the Pembroke Hospital to seek medical help?
I don't trust doctors. All they care about is their careers and processes. I won't be locked in any room again by anyone.
Your fear of being trapped is not going to go away by itself. You need professional help.
I've seen enough butchers in white coats to last a lifetime. Hospitals reek of chemicals and death. What I need is fresh air.
Do you want to talk about why you have this fear of being enclosed, Mr. Thatcher?
No, I really don't.
An irrational fear like yours is usually rooted...
Well, Doctor, take a guess then, if you're so interested in my Kate.
When I rescued you, you expressed joy at seeing the sky again. So I'm inclined to believe you were trapped or buried somehow. Maybe during a shelling.
Jeez, you're good, Doc. You're really good.
Go on. Tell me more about it.
Newton and I were trapped in a circulation tunnel after an artillery attack. We were buried alive for several days without ever knowing if we'd be found.
Oswald, tell me about what happened when you were buried in that tunnel with Newton.
It was more than dark. It was black as pitch. Hours seemed like days, and days like months. Oh, the terror. The shameful thoughts. Lord have mercy.
What you endured was terrifying. It would have...
It did not destroy Newton.
Shameful thought.
At some point, I don't remember which day, when I thought we'd never be rescued, that this would be our end. I thought about...
Say it, Mr. Thatcher.
I thought about what I could do to survive. Just for a few more days. I thought about killing Newton. Killing and eating him. The man I fucking love.
Tell me about your true feelings for Newton.
I love him. I'm not ashamed to say it. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't imagine life without him.
Why should you be ashamed?
I'm not, I said. But Newton sees it differently.
I admire your honesty. It takes courage to stand up to society. The world needs people like
courage is what we needed in the trenches, looking death in the...
Have you always been?
All I know is, before you saved me by the sewer, my only...
Goodbye, Miss... Hello again, Mr. Blight. I'm happy to see Mr. Thatcher.
I'm eternally grateful, Doctor.
What caused your phobia of rats, Newton?
It happened last year following an artillery attack. I was trapped for 2 days in a hole under 2 dead soldiers. And there were rats.
Go on.
It started eating me as soon as I dozed. Gnawing at my ears, my fingers, lips. I couldn't move. Couldn't call for help.
I see.
No, you don't. You have no idea what it is to wake up buried under bodies. Fucking vermin eating your flesh. Oswald. He found me and saved me.
You and Oswald were buried up...
Yeah. It was last summer.
Oswald seemed...
It wasn't the first time it happened to me.
How did you survive from...
Luckily for us, there were rations and water in the tunnel.
How do you feel about Oswald?
I love him. I love Oswald.
What frightens you?
What if people find out? Oswald says I'm a
Enjoy your...
I appreciate your kind words.
Goodbye.
This city is more peaceful without the bombs, but no less dangerous.
Good evening.
Evening.
No,
Newton is conflicted about his feelings towards you. Would you like to talk about it, Oswald?
It makes me sad and angry. It feels like the beautiful thing we have is somehow tainted. It hurts to see him so lost.
His love for you is genuine. I'm certain he wasn't lying to me when he expressed his feelings for you.
Newton still has to accept it, knowing he'll be seen as a queer, a fairy, less than a man in those simple-minded bigots' eyes. Though he's more of a man than they'll ever be, so fuck 'em all.
Goodbye, man.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the...
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
Don't you think we have enough work already? Perhaps now is not the best time to be chasing shadows.
Chasing shadows, really? It's funny those words coming from the only doctor here who has spent more time outside this hospital than in.
Goodbye, Doc. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
Давай попробуем. Так, а как сделать-то? Я что-то не понял.
The flower's dying. It needs... Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Ackroyd.
Блин, интересно. А пускай он несет ответственность. Чем мы паримся? Где ты, очкарик?
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr.
I have managed to improve the mixture by diluting it. Have you ever heard of Sir Joseph Francis Olive, or the placebo effect?
No, I don't think so. Why?
A placebo is a substance or procedure that has no actual physical effect.
You made a placebo of my project. Why?
Research has established that a placebo, as long as the subject believes in the effect, can provoke a positive physiological reaction.
Really? That's fascinating. And you want me to, what, administer the placebo and see what occurs?
Something like that, yes.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Dr. Reed. Please take the key to my cabinet and put this placebo there for future use.
Goodbye, Dr. Strick. It's locked. It's locked, all right. At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this formula.
Ладно, погнали теперь по сюжету пытаться как-то пробиться.
It's here again.
Что, еще не спишь?
There's safer places to be than here. Stop right now!
Да иди ты нафиг.
Sorry, sir. No admittance.
Блин, ну и как расследовать?
There's no one in. It's locked, all right.
Better go home, sir. Die, vermin!
Тоже фига.
Sorry, sir, no admittance. Come in closer.
Ну и как прекратить? Кто мне скажет? Так я даже дать не могу это лекарство.
Good evening.
Goodbye, miss.
И тоже попасть я не могу. Я не понимаю, ну что за бред-то какой-то? Ну, пойдем.
Cheap price, good quality.
You again?
Goodbye, Mr. Pete.
There's one of them! Watch yourselves! You leech!
Опять оборотень, ты иди тюрпень.
This could be the box Lewis thought he lost. There's a letter inside.
Ну ладно, меньше псины одной. Так я ж забрал. Чё не так-то опять? А, еще один. Так я вроде забрался, что не так-то?
Good evening, Benjamin.
I'm afraid.
A gun, alcohol.
I won't end up another drunkard.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your...
А, что-то я не понял.
Goodbye, young man. A love letter from Joe Peterson's wife, addressed to Barrett Lewis. Who should I give it to, I wonder?
А этому дадим.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Fancy buying?
You never lose. I found this box in an abandoned building.
Let's have a look. Yeah, this...
I suppose...
Luck is a commodity round here. You're...
About this package, it's not just tools.
I want to be rude or anything after you...
Barrett.
Yeah, I did. She's the only woman I loved. My first regret is that she stayed with Joe after Harry was born. The second is I never shed a tear when she died.
Did you ever try talking to Joe?
Never. But I suspected he knew everything, even without knowing it. And he decided to make me pay in his own way.
Do you mean?
No one will ever know for sure.
Goodbye for... Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Ты ж извини, я тебя похозяйничествую. И все заберу.
Is there only pain and suffering?
So,
I'm not bothered.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day.
Speaking of which...
My father is an idiot who makes idiot.
Forgive my bluntness, young man.
Why should I?
You have a roof over your head?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for
Ну
what
так-то
you've
да.
got. But I wasn't even...
If life here is so
I don't go outside.
So that's why you stay at home all day?
I'm not afraid of disease or death.
Do you remember when Barrett Lewis was close to your family?
Not really. I was too young. But I remember it was a happier time. Mr. Lewis was funny. He often had dinner with us.
Why are you...
Because it hurts to remember a time when my father...
How was he?
He was nice, I guess. He never...
Your father and Mr...
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
But you...
Am I not?
Have you tried speaking?
I don't go out often, but yes.
Goodbye.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Ой, жесть, ну и как попасть-то туда? Ну ёпарасоте, серьезно. Я не понимаю, ну тут всего лишь 2 входа, этот закрыт, а тот вообще ничего сделать нельзя. Ну это бред. Вот так вот оно было, да? Ну ладно.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. It's locked.
Ошибись, найти журналистов. Ну пошли искать.
Come on, Baron, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Baron.
Наверное, вот этот.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Duff.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel.
But Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
What is a journalist doing in this
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public
Да,
interested?
игра очень много диалогов,
That's why
очень.
I'm an independent journalist. hoping to sell some stories.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Да?
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Так, давай журналиста мы найдем. Так, а ты кто такая?
Pay me a glass and I'll be gentle. Don't be shy, handsome.
I'm not looking for what you're selling.
All right then, but be...
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that...
And you think that would worry me?
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People...
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England.
Война, да,
This country is
иммиграция.
not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Кристина Попа или Папа? Попа.
I'm sure you could have found another job, perhaps.
And when exactly was the last time you...
Goodbye.
Очень понятно.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Еще одна бабенция. А чё вас так много-то, серьезно? Комедия. А ну иди сюда.
Good evening, miss. I'm Doctor. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who...
нанимая.
Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm... Very well.
Ну вон, придурок этот. Как туда попасть? Давай, допустим, все это дело обижим. Да чтоб вас! Да, надо все-таки, я думаю, выносливость вкачивать нам как можно больше.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Ну так-то да, и вообще не поспоришь.
But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor. And
if some misfortune...
Well, you, for a start, my dear...
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercourt.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercourt, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me.
Муз занимает плен. Ага.
Will she still
Что-то я сомневаюсь в этом.
Flower of Whitechapel, if she moves uptown.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Да так себе.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write
Да,
about.
никогда не
That's what
пойму таких
Whitechapel is
людей.
made of.
Даже в играх. Так, да, вот это.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Tch.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him.
Давай завтра. Что я хочу сказать? Зашибись. Так раз хотел заканчивать стрим. И чё? Правильно, до свидания. Ошибка игры. Прям мысли читай. Ладненько, я думаю, на этом все. Спасибо, кто смотрел. И до следующей серии. Всем пока.